Hey guys, how's it going? Jared here. Oh, sorry. Decks and dice. Ramblings of an LGS owner. Sorry, I've been sitting in this chair for a minute, sorting cards, so I should have stretched before I did this, so my bad. Anywho, carry on. I'd like to talk about GameStop. So apparently GameStop is edging in on the LGS territory. And I mean, they've been doing that for maybe roughly close to a year now, but they're also going to start streaming on Whatnot, and I'm not sure if they're going to have like actual legit GameStop employees doing streams, or if they're just like if they're going to have like a talent that does that like they used to have, or maybe still have with the GameStop TV thing. Um, like back in my day when I managed it, there was like Melanie Mack on there and some other dude. I don't know if it's gonna be like a team like that or if they're gonna find talents on Whatnot to help them do streams for like pack breaks and anyways. I guess I can probably stop rambling about that one. So yeah, they're gonna start doing that. We all know they're doing the PSA Pokemon thing. They've had Pokemon cards, Magic cards, and all that good stuff for a while now. Like they really have. They had that stuff back when I was there. Poor old GameStop though, just kind of can't seem to find their identity as a company. It used to be video games. It was kind of arguably a decent place to go for video games if it was the only option you had, because they kind of pulled the Walmart thing where they would come into a place, lower prices, shove everyone else out, and then when they were the only ones there, they'd go back to like their normal price range. So, boo on GameStop there. My thing, and once they started doing the PSA thing, the grading stuff for Pokemon cards, that's kind of when I was like casting a weary little eye to kind of see what they were doing. Because let's be honest, I'm a super small shop, super small presence. And if GameStop does just kind of decide to like just big dick into the scene like it looks like they're going to do, just their name, brand recognition alone is enough to overshadow, like my shop or anyone else really, unless they've been like an established, fucking 10 plus years in business kind of thing. Plus, like, GameStop is usually located in high traffic areas, and just the simple fact of while you're at Walmart, you can then go to GameStop, like probably right next door or a 2 minute drive, and do your trading, buying of, cards and all that good stuff right there. It's all in one centralized location. So why the hell would you drive 5 minutes or 10 minutes down the road to an LGS like mine to do the same business, Um, I'm a little hesitant on how that's going to impact business once GameStop kind of full fledged goes into that. I know that the GameStop about 2 towns up, it's a town called Easley, which is more or less right outside of Greenville. I know these landmarks mean nothing to most of you, but that Easley location is doing like Pokemon, Lorcana, some Magic meetup stuff like that. Like I guess they're testing the waters in certain locations to see what happens. So that's a little a little concerning, but not really at the same time, and I'll explain that a little bit later. Why I'm not 100% concerned about the way that it's going. I'm laying out my reservations first about like why I kind of feel this way. Because like I said, they're usually in high traffic areas. It's going to be like an ease of access thing for a lot of people if they're just going to choose to go do business with GameStop or like me or any other shop, because if it's just right there, everyone's lazy, myself included. If it's literally right there, I'm probably just going to do the thing that's right there. And it's and like after working there for a while, I managed there for a while, all that good stuff. I worked my way up from from lowly peon to store manager, so I'm kind of, well, used to be well versed in the way they operate. I'm not sure if it's still roughly the same way it is now. Um, so with that insight, I'm not too worried about them poaching a lot of like regular diehard, like this is my shop people, just because I don't think GameStop is going to be able or willing to give them the experience that most people will get coming into a mom and pop shop. Sorry about that. Um, Especially one like mine. Like, I don't have a lot of like high price singles. I don't even carry a crap ton of sealed product. As I've said before in some of my other videos, that like I do a kind of more or less a just in time inventory method that I learned from GameStop and Walmart. I don't like having 12 cases of, like, let's say, Murders of Karlov Manor or whatever just sit in the back room, or 12 cases of Thunder Junction that, like, I'm never going to sell through. So, like, in my shop, I'm not going to have a bunch of overflow like that. It's literally going to be, I'm going to sell through what I need to sell through when something comes out. I might have a case of it or two left, but everything else is getting focused into the newer stuff and then just rinse and repeat that whole thing. So, yeah. Don't know where I was going with on that one, but yeah. So I don't think that GameStop will allow for the atmosphere and everything that a shop like mine allows for. I don't think GameStop will be moving kiosks of little like tchotchkes and stuffed animals and everything out of their stuff to make room for tables for people to come and play at. I don't see them being flexible with like, oh hey, you are in here 4 days a week. You know what? You're short $5 or $10 or whatever. I'll eat that because you literally just spent $300 over this week in my shop. GameStop's not going to allow their employees to do something like that. They're also not really going to allow any kind of like haggling with prices or whatever, like, oh hey, this is on TCG Player for, we'll say, 130, you're selling it for 140. Will you do 130? No, I'll do 140. Stuff like that. Like, that kind of interaction is not going to happen. I also don't know what they'll have on any kind of like store credit cash values as far as like singles go if they start going down that route. I would assume it might be something similar to what they do with video games, because I don't see them giving like 60% store credit or starting right off the bat with 50% cash like we do or most other places. Some places do 80% store credit and 60% cash or whatever, but they can do that. They've made it, so to say. I don't foresee GameStop doing that. I also don't foresee most of the employees at a GameStop having that like vibe or whatever that a lot of employees have at just normal card shops or just LGSs in general. I don't foresee that being a thing. I don't think it's going to be like a nail in the coffin or anything, but I don't think it's going to be an overall net positive for the scene in general, because I don't know how much for normies that'll just make GameStop their go-to thing, and then maybe they decide to give a mom and pop LGS a shot. Like, I don't know how much that corporate rigid structure is going to like ruin people for small shops like mine. Like, GameStop has a huge corporate backing, so they're always going to have a lot of crap in stock just because they have the war chest to do that. They're going to have the slat wall, they're going to have, beautiful cases, they're going to have like beautiful displays of X, Y, and Z. Don't know what kind of partnerships they might have in the works with, like, Wizards or Konami or whatever, to get like cool standees or posters, or, you know, don't know what they're going to have in their war chest in general to shove out into the world to be like, oh, hey, look, we're LGS now. We're better than those guys because we have this and they don't. I don't know how that's going to color the perception of other shops, to where everyone, all the normies that go to those are going to expect like that corporate sanitized experience with every other shop there is, which, as I've said before in other videos, I refuse to do, because that corporate sanitization is what is killing everything, man. Whether you want to admit it or not, having this standard issued shop thing is not what an LGS is. It's a project made by one or two people, and they pour their fucking heart and their effort and all that, their personalities into the shop, and the shop becomes that, you know. But anyways, I just kind of wonder how that's going to ruin some people for the overall LGS experience, and then them not come back to an LGS because it wasn't that corpo sanitized experience that they've been, I guess, conditioned to accept as like the norm. Like, this is the bare minimum of acceptable. If it's below this, screw them, kind of thing. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I don't know, man. It was a topic that came up in one of the videos I watched this morning, and I'm kind of curious to what you guys might actually think about that. Like, what are your thoughts and reasons and expectations behind GameStop slowly turning into, LGSs, essentially, or what seems like they might be trying to do? Do you guys think it'll be an overall net positive, or, kind of like I do, where I think it's just going to be kind of like a neutral to net negative, because now that GameStop will be throwing their big dick around with distros and everything, how much are they going to eat into allocations for everything that already kind of suck now just to get for normal shops, Um, I we won't know that until they actually start doing stuff, so like that's speculation. I can only assume that with them throwing big dick money around and eating up more of the allocations, I'll be seeing less for, big releases. And that's just the way it is. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot you can do about it, unless I, for some reason, strike the lottery and win millions of dollars and kind of just can be a big fish. But fingers crossed. But yeah, so anyways, just let me know what you guys think, your personal take on it. Really curious about it, because it seems that whenever, corpos get their spindly little hands into something that is like a homegrown, organic, natural thing, it ruins it. PokeNE gave some pretty good examples of how that happened. And I mean, I guess you really just have to look at Magic to see how that happened. I mean, arguably, Magic probably isn't the greatest example because it's still alive and thriving and doing really well. But everyone who was an OG person before Hasbro bought WotC knows that it was a completely different company. The sets felt different. The mechanics felt, I don't know, more organic for the realm, or the lore, the world, whatever you want to call it. They weren't scared to do something nice. Not nice, but like risque, I guess I should say. The artwork was hands down way better, I think, just because it was actual artwork. There wasn't this like photoshopped digital bullshit that keeps going on around. Not even the AI stuff, but like, I don't like the paint shop Photoshop shit that we're getting on cards nowadays. It just looks bleh compared to like what it used to. So, anyways, rambling, squirrel going. Uh, sorry guys. Just do me a favor, like, sub, share, help me get to 1,000. That would be fucking phenomenal if that happens. Um, help me get to 1,000. Maybe I'll shave the goatee off or something, or I don't know, shave my forearms because I got hairy forearms. Uh, we'll see what happens. I'll figure something out or make suggestions. But yeah, just let me know what you think about GameStop creeping into the LGS sphere, and can't really wait to see what you guys got takes you guys have. So yeah, as I like to say, guys, life is not a dick. You don't have to take it so hard, and you're a trash can, not a trash can't. And please remember, subscribe, share, join the Patreon. It's down below in the link in the comments. $1.50 a month, or whatever. If that's just all you want to throw my way, that's fine. But yeah, you guys have a good one, and I'll talk at you later.